On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up. I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got to go.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. Yeah. And you guys already know what's going down today. So guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off, boy. Ow. Oh man, how's everybody doing? Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, and this is Sports Plus Life, that there sports talk show where we talk about all the necessary topics that need to be discussed in sports and life as well. Now, forgive me if my voice sounds a little out of it or if my speech sounds slightly slurred. I'm not on the loose juice, not yet anyway. But I kind of have a toothache with one of my back teeth, and then the other side, one of my right back teeth, toothache, and then the left side of my tongue is actually a little swollen. So, but you know what? I didn't do a show last week because of all of the hustle and bustle between working and finishing up Christmas shopping and then doing all of the gift wrapping and then preparing for the cooking. You know, I was just busy, but allow me to wish you a merry belated Christmas and an early Happy New Year. You know why? Because today is Wednesday, December the 30th, 2000 of the 20, and 2020 is about to come to an end. Oh my Lord. Jesus. What a year it has been. A year unlike that I can tell you that I've seen in my lifetime. But I mean, man, we have less than 48 hours before we will be in the year 2021. And you know what's going to be happening in 2021? You know the first thing that we're going to be dealing with in the year 2021? Wait for it. Wait for it. Drum roll. Coronavirus. I mean, duh. I mean, because we're still dealing with it. The numbers are still spiking up. But now there have been vaccines that have been sent to this country. So people are saying, hey, what about me? What about me? When do I get this vaccine? At least some people are saying that.
What about the wiener?
But then there are others who, you know, like me, are like, you know what? I'll skip this first wave of vaccines. You know, it's kind of like the first wave of a new video game. That's where all the glitches and shit be at. So I think I'll just go ahead and skip that one. But I'm gonna tell you what they're doing. They are making things pretty much damn near, and they're gonna make things pretty much impossible for us to be able to really do anything. I mean, like, as far as going to sporting events, going to concerts, going to amusement parks, getting on an airplane, getting on a train. They're going to make it damn near impossible to do any of that stuff unless you've been had a vaccine. You'll have to carry your POV, your proof of vaccination, with you like you carry your damn driver's license. I'm telling you. I don't know this to be factual, but I'm pretty sure I'm not too far off. Hey, Master P live on Instagram. Anyway, like I said, I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and enjoyed their holiday. And, you know, we got some things we got to get into because this is the last episode of Sports Plus Life for the year 2020. And, without further ado, my peoples, let's get to it, bro. All right, I'm going to hop right into it with the results of NFL Week 16 season, and then I'll give you my predictions for Week 17, which is the final week of the NFL regular season. You see how quick the football season goes by? But you guys didn't get any of my predictions from last week because I didn't do a podcast last week, but I'll start off with the game that was on Krumma, dog.
Biatch.
The Vikings and the Saints. The Saints blew out the Vikings 52-33. Alvin Kamara had a record 6 rushing touchdowns. And the Saints, they clinched their division. They're currently sitting right now in the number 2 spot in the NFC, if I'm not mistaken. And then Saturday's games, the day after Criminal, the Buccaneers destroyed the Lions, which they should have. I mean, not trying to be funny, but yes, Tampa has won their last 2 or 3 games, but I'm looking at the competition. So I can't put any real stock on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers other than they didn't get off to a slow start this time, but you've beaten the Vikings, you've beaten the Falcons, and you've beaten the Lions.
You suck.
3 teams that are going nowhere fast. The Vikings had a chance at the time that you played them, but when you played the Falcons got up quick and then turned into the Falcons. They blew it. And the Detroit Lions just came into that game as the Detroit Lions. So anyway, next game, the San Francisco 49ers dealt a major league blow to the playoff hopes of the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals have been such a Jekyll and Hyde team. They lost 20-12. And then in the game of the day, by far, that Saturday, the Dolphins pulled out a miracle victory over the Raiders, 26-25, effectively eliminating the Raiders from the playoff mix. This is the second straight year where Vegas and John Gruden, well, they were Oakland last year, but second straight year that John Gruden's Raiders have had a great chance to make the playoffs a little past the midway point of the regular season, and then they absolutely collapse and fall apart. The Raiders were 6-3 at one point. They have lost 5 of their last 6 games. They were 6-3. They're now 7-8. They will not be in the playoffs yet again. On the Sunday's games, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Atlanta Falcons 17-14, stunned that Atlanta's defense, of all defenses, could hold the Chiefs to under 20 points. Let me tell you something, bruh. Kansas City is playing with fire because they've been playing a lot of close games. That's good that you can win those, but to me, that means that you're right to be upset. And the shocker of the day. Now, last week, the New York Jets embarrassed every Los Angeles Rams fan in the world by beating the Rams, and who are going through their own problems. So then they play the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland, who was 10-4 coming into that game. But then right the day before the game, they find out that they have their first 4 wide receivers in their rotation, including Jarvis Landry and Donovan Peoples-Jones, all have to go on the COVID exempt list because of some trace stuff, and none of them can play. Like, they had Marvin Hall, a receiver formerly with the Falcons who they had just signed, and practice squad receivers. And I don't understand what the game plan was for Kevin Stefanski to come out and try to throw the ball all over the field when you have 2 all-pro running backs like Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. It's simple. I don't care if the Jets do know what you're going to do. Do it anyway. And as a result, the Browns lost, which puts their playoff hope in jeopardy. They're still 10-5. It's still an easy scenario for the easier because the Browns just had like a coach. What a time. The Cleveland Browns are on the cusp of making the playoffs for the first time in 18 years. And they're having a COVID outbreak now? What a time that's just the most Cleveland Browns shit ever. When they've had a great season, you want to get to near the end, and now you have to deal with the COVID shit. It's just, I hope they're able to still get in. One big game from Sunday was the Colts at Pittsburgh. We all know the Steelers had lost 3 straight games. They looked pathetic for the first half of that game. And then Ben rallied the troops. They won 28-24. They clinched the NFC North. And next week in the winner-take-all game in the season finale, it's not a winner-take-all game now, but in the season finale against the Cleveland Browns, Mike Tomlin has already said that Ben Roethlisberger is going to sit. So that should make some Cleveland Browns fans very happy. As for the Colts, hey, they could end up missing out.
Excellent.
I really believe that there's going to be one 11-win team from the AFC this year that doesn't make the playoffs, and that's crazy. But one of the teams that I do not believe is going to miss out is the Baltimore Ravens. They appear to be hitting their stride. They defeated the New York Giants 27-13. The Ravens have won now 3 straight since hitting kind of a snag in the season, and now they are in control of their own destiny, holding the tiebreaker over Cleveland and the Colts as well. In a game nobody gave 2 flying fucks about, the Bengals beat the Texans. Another game and nobody could give a rat's ass about. The Chargers beat my Broncos. A game that was very interesting. The Carolina Panthers beat the DC Dickish when they had a chance to clinch the NFC East. The NFC East. Alex Smith has been dealing with a calf injury, and they had to start Dwayne Haskins, who, by the way, after the previous game against Seattle, which was a loss, was caught at the Screw-Up Club with no mask on, partying like a rock star, like they just won the damn game. He was stripped of his captaincy, and then after playing like hot garbage against the Carolina Panthers in a game that the Dickish had to have, he was then stripped of his roster spot. Dwayne Haskins was cut yesterday, and you know what? He brought it on himself. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles lost to the Dallas Cowboys 37-17. That officially eliminated the Eagles, and somehow, someway, the Cowboys still have an outside slim chance in hell to win the NFC East, but I don't care who wins the NFC East. The winner of the NFC East could possibly have, at the least amount of losses they'll have is 9. I don't care if you're a Giants fan, Eagles fan, or DC Dickish fan, aka Washington. Your division stinks. Your division sucks. So if you poke your chest out, like you done some, hey, we in the playoff, we made the playoff, you should be ashamed of yourself. Biatch. Giants, DIs, and Cowboy fans. Cowboy fans should be ashamed of themselves just for being Cowboy fans anyway. But anyway, the Seattle Seahawks clinched the NFC West, beating the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams have some tough times too. Jared Goff just had to have thumb surgery. He will not be playing. The Rams do not control their own destiny now. They need to win to get in, but they have to win at Arizona, a team that is equally, playing as desperate. I forgot the Chicago Bears have jumped back into the mix. They currently have the 7th and final spot after they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we have some interesting matchups coming up Sunday. I'll get into that in a minute. But the Sunday night game, the Tennessee Titans absolutely got mollywopped at Green Bay in the snow, 40-14. I think Aaron Rodgers has taken a firm lead in the MVP race over Patrick Mahomes. He had 4 touchdown passes. Devontae Adams had 3 of them. And on Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills the Patriots the ending of the Patriots dynasty, at least their reign over the AFC East, ended last week. But the proverbial middle finger was thrown up in their face against Buffalo on Monday night. Buffalo beat the hell out of the Patriots 38-9. And you think anybody feels bad for Bill Belichick? No, unless you're in Boston. Anyway, on to Week 17 matchups now. Now, these are interesting because the Buffalo Bills can play to clinch the number 2 seed. Remember, this year the 2 seed doesn't mean quite as much, which I believe why Mike Tomlin is sitting down Ben Roethlisberger, because there's only one team in each conference that gets a bye week. The Kansas City Chiefs have sewn that up. So Buffalo could just potentially be playing for seeding. Pittsburgh pretty much said, look, we don't give a fuck. 2nd seed, 3rd seed, whatever. We're going to have to play the next round. We're going to have to play in the first round anyway. So Buffalo is at Miami. Why is that interesting? Well, mind you, the Dolphins did beat the Raiders, but that was Ryan Fitzpatrick coming in relief duty of Tua because Brian Flores thought they needed a spark. Now, I'm not a fan of keep on pulling your young quarterback because you could shake his confidence, but this strangely seems to be working in Miami because once the games are over, he's not coming and saying, hey, I don't know who's going to start. No, he's firm. No, Tua's the guy. So it's working. Miami needs to win. If Miami wins, they're in. The Dolphins are 10-5. Flores, win, lose, or draw, is a hell of a coach. Period. So they need to win. They need to win to get in. The Baltimore Ravens are at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Ravens are going to get in, okay? I mean, I know that's a divisional rivalry or whatever, but the Ravens will get in. The Steelers are at Cleveland. Again, Ben Roethlisberger's not going to play, but will Cleveland have back their top wide receivers? And now them having COVID issues, I'm going to go with Cleveland. The way I see it panning out is I actually think that, that Buffalo-Miami game is going to be hard to call. I think you may see Josh Allen in the first half, depending really on what Cleveland and Pittsburgh's score is. I really believe that. So I'll say that you'll see Josh Allen, however long that Pittsburgh-Cleveland game is in doubt, that Cleveland will win and Buffalo won't get the second seed. So I'm actually going to roll with Buffalo, unfortunately for Dolphin fans. I'm going to roll with Buffalo to beat Miami to secure the 2 seed. And I think what's going to happen is Cleveland is going to beat Pittsburgh, and I think that's going to be the playoff matchup you'll see next week. Instead it'll be in Pittsburgh. This game is in Cleveland. I think Cleveland and Pittsburgh are going to play each other 2 straight weeks. Game nobody cares about, Vikings at Lions. Who cares? For good measure, I'll pick the Lions because Dalvin Cook isn't playing. And, Zimmer could be playing. Look, I think they ain't making the playoffs, so I'm pretty sure management will have their mind made up if Zimmer's going to get fired or not. Detroit, they're on their 3rd coach because their other coach, their interim coach, caught COVID. God damn! This COVID's a bitch. So, I don't care who wins this game. I'll say the Lions. The Jets at the Patriots, equally don't care. It's just weird not seeing the Patriots in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't care. You know what? The Jets will win. The Jets will end the season winning 3 straight games after losing their first 13. Dallas at New York. Dallas wins and Washington loses. Dallas wins the division. The Giants win. Washington loses. The Giants win the division. If Washington wins, this game don't mean shit because neither of them would win the division. But with that being said, this is funny now that Cowboy fans are starting to pump their punk-ass chests out, saying, hey, we might can win the division. It's about that time for them to be disappointed and fall flat on their face. And wouldn't it be great for their season to end at the hands of their old coach, Jason Garrett? I'm going with the Giants. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. This would be the game that Atlanta comes out and wins. But Tampa is appearing. I can't say Tampa is hitting their stride because they're beating bad teams. That's what you're supposed to do if you're a good team. Even if you're a playoff team, you're supposed to beat bad teams. The Falcons have been a bad team. I know this is a division rivalry. I'll go with Tampa Bay, even though I think it would be funny to see Atlanta win. Big game, Green Bay at Chicago. Chicago win. You're in Green Bay. You win. You clinch the number 1 seed. You think I'm going against Aaron Rodgers? I don't give a damn if it is in Chicago. Aaron Rodgers is going to lock, stock, and barrel that MVP with a win at Soldier Field to clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC. And don't be surprised if them boys end up in the Super Bowl. Game nobody cares about. Raiders at my Broncos. Hell, my Broncos are going to win. Yippee-ki-yay. Jacksonville at Indianapolis is a big game for Indy because if Miami, Baltimore, or Cleveland loses and they win, they're in. Let's see. Chargers at Chiefs. This game means nothing for Kansas City. They've locked up the number 1 seed. They'll probably sit their players. Arizona at Los Angeles. 2 teams that are trying to make the playoffs. Both of them could make the playoffs no matter who the winner or who the loser is if the Bears get beat by the Packers. Jared Goff will not play. Forgive me. Arizona will get in if they win and the Bears lose. I believe the Rams would be safe if the Bears lose as well. Seattle at San Francisco. I don't know if Seattle is playing for seeding right now at San Fran. I'm not sure because, let's see, how many wins do they have? They have 11 wins. New Orleans has 11 wins. I don't know who holds the tiebreaker between them. So you might see I think you'll see Russell Wilson come out there. I'll roll with the Seahawks. New Orleans at Carolina. I think New Orleans is going to seal the number 2 seed if they hold the tiebreaker. Tennessee at Houston, that's another game. Tennessee could actually end up missing the playoffs. If Tennessee loses and the Colts win, the Colts will win the division. Tennessee does not hold, well, no, Tennessee holds the tiebreaker over Baltimore. But, oh boy, God, I would love to see Deshaun Watson ruin it for Tennessee. I really would. But their run defense is awful. Derrick Henry has 1,777 yards. It wouldn't surprise me if Derrick Henry finished that game with 2,000 yards rushing. I'm serious. Sunday night game, they moved the Dickich against the Eagles to the Sunday night game, and that game would have been for all the marbles had the Eagles handled their business against freaking Dallas. But now the Eagles, the DIs have to go to Philly and win a game, and they are just in turmoil with quarterback play right now. I mean, their defense is legit, but what are they gonna do at the quarterback position?
These nuts.
And Jalen Hurts is playing, and he's been playing rather well. He hasn't played defense like well, I take that he played the Saints, but that pass rush of the DIs is a little bit more ferocious. Something's telling me Philly's gonna win this game, but something telling me Philly's gonna win, but I'm gonna say that the Dickheads scratched their way to a division title. Oh man, see how quick the football season goes by? Oh my goodness gracious. It seemed like we were just starting the season. I mean, it's crazy, dog. It's crazy, dog. I'm looking at the standings now, dog. I'm looking at the standings now, dog. And yes, the Seahawks and the Saints both have 11 wins. So this is interesting. This is definitely interesting to see how that's going to shape up. And seeding as well, because right now the wild card seed, the top wild card seed would be held by Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay would be the number 5 seed that would play the winner of the NFC East, and right behind them would be the Los Angeles Rams, followed by the Chicago Bears. So we shall see. And it's just a big old cluster F for wild cards in the AFC. I mean, so many good teams. Dolphins 10-5, Ravens 10-5, Browns 10-5, Colts 10-5, Titans 10-5. But I'm hoping Deshaun plays spoiler for 10. I don't care who gets left out between the Titans and the Colts. I could care less. I just hope that one of them gets left out. I do. As far as wild cards go, I would like to see the Dolphins, Ravens, and Browns in. Screw Tennessee and Indianapolis. I like Derrick Henry, but I never have been a believer in Ryan Tannehill. Prove me right. Oh man. But anyway, on to the NB of the A. We haven't talked since the season started, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't really get steadfast into the NBA until after football season. And everything still seems pretty, everything is still, it's early. Now we have had a couple of noticeable injuries. Spencer Dinwiddie from the Brooklyn Nets has a partially torn ACL. His season's probably over. That's a damn shame. But that doesn't mean that I think that Brooklyn should go make a trade for James Harden. I'm sorry. I would not touch Harden with the way that he has acted of trying to go about getting out of Houston. I think Harden has acted very unprofessional. He's acted petulant. He's acted petty for an organization that honestly has done everything for him. And the fact is, James Harden still want to live that club life. It appears that's what you keep hearing, that he wants to really still live that club life, and being late for meetings and all of this stuff. So no, Brooklyn is still very deep. They look very, very good. Philly looks good too so far on the dot. They do too. I know Boston is deep. Toronto has started off horrible, honestly. That's what has surprised me. I know we're just like 4 games in, but I don't think Toronto's won a game yet. The Raptors. And I think the Raptors are one of the more mentally tougher teams, particularly with winning a championship. So Spencer Dinwiddie's out with injury. John Morant is out 3 to 5 weeks with a ankle injury. Kevin Love is out 3 to 4 weeks. What else is new? Ever since LeBron left Cleveland, his ass has been out. He's out 3 to 4 weeks with a calf injury. Kawhi got his jaw split on Krimmer, and he's been out. But the Clippers are 3-1, so it's kind of early injury bug hitting the NBA. But 72 game season. Opening night was fun. You saw the Nets absolutely destroy the Warriors, and truthfully, I think the Warriors are going to be a bad team again this year without Clay. I hope not, because I rock with the Warriors. But I don't see it. I see Draymond being in and out the lineup. I like Wiseman, the rookie. But no Clay, no Steph. I mean, I don't know if you'll see the type of run that Golden State. I don't know if you'll see Golden State even get back to as much as a conference championship. Even whenever they can get fully squatted up, fully healthy. I don't know. Because now, Clay has had back-to-back catastrophic injuries, and you just don't know what he's going to be like now, particularly after missing. He will have missed 2 full years of basketball by the time he comes back, and now he's in his 30s. So, we'll have to see. And all of this is being put on Steph, and I just don't see it with Golden State. I hate that, because before Clay got hurt, I thought that Golden State would be right there with the Lakers. And as it turns out, I really think that the team that's the biggest threat in the West to the Lakers is still the Clippers. They beat them opening night. The Clippers get up to play the Lakers. They get motivated. If it's one team, honestly, if the Lakers and the Clippers meet in the playoffs, I'm going to say if. Everybody looked at it as a foregone conclusion last year, and we all got slapped in the face. If the Lakers and the Clippers are to meet in any round of the playoffs, I think the Clippers would beat them. I still do. Even with the Lakers adding Trez from the Clippers and then Dennis Schroeder, I just think stylistically, even with Ty Lue now as the coach, I think the Clippers are better than them as far as head-to-head matchups. Not as far as overall what your record is going to be, but I think the Clippers match up better with the Lakers than anybody. Now, Brooklyn, that's going to be a different story, because KD look like KD, and Kyrie has been balling. Now, that's a whole different animal. Them damn Brooklyn Nets, even with Dinwiddie out, you still got Karis LeVert, you still got Joe Harris, you still got not to mention KD and Kyrie. You still got DeAndre Jordan. You still got Jared Allen. You got pieces. You still got Jeff Green. You got folks. You definitely have pieces and players. So that's all I'm going to say about the NBA to A. This weekend, the college football playoffs are starting, and it's pretty much the teams that you thought it would be, the big market teams that you want to see. Alabama versus Notre Dame, which I don't even know why they would put that as a matchup, because Notre Dame got thumped by Clemson in the ACC championship. Alabama is going to beat them worse. Notre Dame is going to do what Notre Dame does, even though they are technically a member of the ACC. So technically the ACC got 2 teams into the college football playoffs. I thought that after Notre Dame got the way they got thumped by Clemson, I thought they should have put Texas A&M in. A better matchup for Alabama. Alabama is going to murder Notre Dame. And then the late game on New Year's Day on Friday is Clemson and Ohio State, which will be a close game until Clemson will eventually pull away. And what are we going to get again, people? We're going to get Clemson versus Alabama for the national championship. Yay! Yeah, my sentiments exactly. That shit's getting old. I mean, it really is. You know, this was the year to add more teams to the college football playoff. This was the year to do it. I mean, it really was. Because, I mean, you have Ohio State who played, 5-6 games, and because they're Ohio State, they're in the college football playoff? Get out of here. I mean, come on. Like I said, I give them, they'll be close with Clemson for the first half. Clemson will blast them in the second half. Trust me, I promise you that one. I do. So, I mean, it's what it is for the sports tip. So let me go ahead and say this. Where the buzzer? Well, let me say, 2020 has been just the year of uncertainty. It's been the year of fear, honestly. It's been the year of change. And it's like, yo, I mean, first of all, RIP to everybody we've lost. And we've lost so many people. I mean, and I'm not just talking about celebrities. We've lost so many people due to this whole coronavirus. But, you know, yet and still, there have been people who have pressed on. And I know that I can say that I've been very blessed to not have even been affected one day of work due to the coronavirus, which is truly a blessing, because there have been hundreds and thousands and millions of people who have. So I'm definitely appreciative of that. And while I still strive to do bigger and better things with my life, I'm grateful, particularly in a year like this, to have been afforded the opportunity to not miss a single day, and being able to provide for my family. And with that being said, hey, niggas is playing games with these stimulus checks. I mean, for real. Like now, I mean, I'm not worried about the stimulus check. I'm not like depending on anything else like that. But there are several people who are. And man, they don't want to make up their mind for nothing about this stimulus check. 1 minute it's coming out here, and then the next minute it's coming out there, and then 1 minute it's gonna be $600, and it's gonna be $2,000. Then okay, we might send you $600, and then we might send you another 14 on GP. And I'm like, it's like, I mean, yo, the government is so funny. The government is so funny. It really is. I'll say this. There have been people who have actually had good 2020s, and there have been a group of people that have had bad 2020s. The government has had a really bad 2020, honestly. So you hope, for the sake of the citizens in this country, that is not the case in 2021 and going forward. But people who have had good 2020s, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes, $500 million contract. He's had a great 2020. It started off 2020 winning Super Bowl MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Greek Freak, biggest contract in NBA history. LeBron James has had a great 2020, winning another NBA championship, albeit in the bubble. Musicians, I tell you, Lil Baby was killing it. Lil Baby was killing it this year, as well as Megan Thee Stallion. She was killing it. Rowdy Rich, he was killing it. You know, the Baby was getting it. You know, it was getting it. Moneybagg Yo, getting it. You know, Trey Songz had a strong year, as well as Usher. What is her name? Jhené Aiko. Back up on my bush. Summer Walker, strong year. Strong year. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, all female MCs had a real strong year. Female MCs had a dope year this year in 2020. I mean, not just Meg, but Nicki. Cardi didn't release much music. but she may have had the biggest song with that wop, wop. Mulatto, Sweetie, City Girls, these the female rappers really, they owned it in 2020. They did. I can't deny. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm gonna salute it. I'm gonna applaud it. The female rappers this year in 2020 did their thing. They did that thug thizzle. And, as a musician, I can appreciate that because y'all know I be making these little mixes and putting them on YouTube. And when YouTube decides not to block it, you hear, I was, noticing on one of them, like, damn, most of this is female rappers. And I love all the songs. Like, for real. And I rock with all of the songs. They really killed it. They really did their thing. They really and truly did their thing. And I'm going to keep on trying to do my thing as far as this show goes, Sports Plus Life. If you're a first-time listener, definitely hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family. It's been another year. And, all I can say is just keep positive vibes up, keep hope alive, be mindful of the energy that you let out there in the atmosphere, be mindful of the energy that you give to other people, because if it's not something that you would like to receive, you can't dish it out because you will receive it back, honestly. So, Happy New Year. Let's bring in 2021 right. Everybody be safe. Everybody be responsible. It's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. This is another episode of Sports Plus Life. I'm out this bitch. See y'all in 2021. Peace.